Good morning and welcome to all my dears. We had completed the basics of human. Good morning and welcome to all my dears. We had completed about the basic physiology and anatomy of stomach, histological peculiarity of stomach, then normal digestion in stomach, and finally we discussed about how our stomach prevent itself from autodigestion. From today onwards, we are going to discuss about the causes of peptic ulcer. Regarding the causes of peptic ulcer, there are so many speculations regarding the PUD. That means, is it because of acidic food? Is it because of spicy food? Or is it because of some other causes, or fried or non-veg or something like that? So many presumptions or speculations are about the PUD patients. In earlier days, that's why we advise our patient to not to have or to restrict the food which is acidic or spicy or something like that. In the year 1983, two Australian doctors or scientists, they discovered the real culprit or the real cause behind the peptic ulcer disorder. The name of that scientists were Dr. Barron and Warren. So that today we are going to discuss about the real cause behind the peptic ulcer. Prior to the cause, let us have a look over the risky personalities who is prone to have the peptic ulcer. As you know, the irregular food habits, irregular bowel habits, irregular sleep habits, etc. will totally derange our neurohormonal mechanisms, and here the irregular food habit itself may help to or may predispose to damage our mucosa of our stomach. And in persons, those who have a habit of having high carbohydrate diet, especially in Keralites, as we know, our basic content of or basic quantity or the solid portion of our stomach belongs to carbohydrate. Then regarding the personality, we always comment that he is a bad personality, he is a good personality, something like that in colloquial talks. But according to the modern science, prior to go to the type of personality, first of all we should know what actually the personality means. The personality is nothing but the group or complex or cluster of characters. Characters, I mean, about the mental sphere as well as the physical sphere, that is psychical or physical. So such complex or cluster of characters, one which distinguish from another, that is what we call the personality. And regarding the main classification of personality, it is divided into two as type 1 personality and type 2 personality. Type 1 personalities are something like that of our Naxomica or arsenic alb or phosphorus or argentum nitricum. These personalities are very, very sensitive, very, very workaholic, very, very emotionally vulnerable personalities. At the same time, those personalities are very, very intelligent, like our sulfur, like our tuja, ragged philosophy, or rag ideas. Something like that personalities, especially the professionals like we people or doctors or advocates or engineers or scientists, etc. belongs to the personality, type 1 personality. Just contrary to the type 1, the type 2 belongs to a very melancholic personality. They won't care about their life. Always in a very sluggish, like that of our Calcaria, simply Calcaria. Dull, dizzy, drowsy, dimness in the mind and body. Something like that personality is categorized as type 2 personality. Okay. Then about the age of our patients. In the textbook you can see it can be pre-pubertal or pubertal, or it may be in the middle-aged, but usually around the age of 30-40. In such group of personalities are very prone to have the possibility of peptic ulcer disorder. Okay. Next about the real culprit or the real villain behind the peptic ulcer. It is a bacteria, the name Helicobacter pylori. The long name of that bacteria is sum up as H. pylori. Okay, let us have a look over the bacteria. Basically, it's a gram-negative bacteria, a rod-shaped bacteria which has a very long flagella. So it is basically a gram-negative one, DNA, then rod-shaped bacilli, then with a flagellae. It can move, it can travel anywhere in our GIT, but it is commonly seen in our pylorus. So the name helico means it is something like that, a spiral or helical in shape or spiral in shape. Then Bacter means the microbe belongs to the bacterial kingdom, and the pylori mean the common habitat of this bacteria is in our pyloric part of our stomach. That is why the name came as Helicobacter pylori. Okay. Next about the peculiarity of the bacteria. Regarding the peculiarities, our bacteria having some specialized proteins which helps the bacteria to stick over the mucous surface of our stomach, that is adhesion proteins. Such proteins are known as adhesion. It can simply attach the mucous wall of our stomach. And next about the bacteria are possessed with some specific enzymes, or it releases or it secretes specific enzyme. Among the enzymes, number one important enzyme is urease. Okay, this urea will convert into urea, and the urease or urea that leads to severe inflammation of the mucosa. It is the mucous membrane of our stomach. Okay, it is the lumen of our stomach. You know that the lumen of the stomach is equipped or possessed with high acidic situations, high acidic value, that is pH of stomach is about 1.3 to 3.5. But even in acidic media, the Helicobacter pylori can survive without any damage, and at the same time it can multiply also. How the pylori can exist or survive and multiply, the multiplication in number, high, very high number, especially in a very acidic media? It is because the release of urease and the same urea, when it leads to severe inflammation of the mucosa, and after that the urea will split into ammonia. Okay, ammonia being a very strong alkaline one, it will protect the bacteria into a very strong cage, or the alkaline media will acting as a very protective barrier in and around the bacteria, or like that of a covering of bacteria, a strong covering of alkaline media like that of our blanket, that protect the bacteria from the severe acidic status. And more than that, with the help of this flagellae, it can travel and it can pierce the mucous membrane of our stomach, and it will keep in between the mucus layer and the columnar epithelium of the mucous membrane. It is the columnar epithelium of the mucous membrane, with all the data were already mentioned in our previous classes. And the mucous membrane itself, or the specialized cells of the mucous membrane, you know that it is foveal cells which secrete the bicarbonates. Okay, bicarbonate is also a very strong alkaline, and the ammonia which is secreted by the bacteria itself is a strong alkaline. So the strong alkaline will resist the strong effect of the acid also. That is why the bacteria can survive, and when it cause breach in the mucosa, then it is known as erosion. When it pierces the mucosa into the submucosa and up to the muscularis, it is ulcer, and the same ulceration can pierce from the mucosa or into the submucosa or into the muscularis or into the serosa. It is penetration, and after penetrating there may be complete or the ulcer may make a hole, that is perforation, and the perforation of the stomach leads to spilling of the content inside the stomach into the peritoneum, and thereby severe acute conditions like either acute localized or a generalized peritonitis may be there, or internal bleeding that may be microscopic or macroscopic, etc., can be studied in later classes. So these are the pathophysiology of our Helicobacter pylori. See, it is the Helicobacter pylori, the flagellae, the various enzymes, the habitat, electron microscopical appearance of the bacteria inside of our mucosa. And next we have to study about the drugs which cause peptic ulcer disease. As you know, various drug abuse, which may leads to peptic ulcer disease. I think that can be studied in another class. Thank you for watching. Let us study together. Let us struggle together against the COVID, and we can meet in very real world within a very short period of time. Thank you. See you. Bye.